someone accused of child abuse, child molestation, child someone on the jury says, yeah, I was a victim, but you're going to find out afterwards. That's a problem. And usually these appeals are complete BS. You know, lawyers just grabbing at straws, throwing everything on the wall, hoping some of it sticks. May very well go in granting this trial overturning conviction. On the news, Jennifer.
Another battle in COVID. Majority leader Kenny Hoyer revealed yesterday he tested positive and is experiencing mild symptoms. After pushing for unwanted to pick up their questions and misinformation, President Biden's secretary called Spotify's new COVID warnings a positive step. And Super Bowl fans now know who will be singing. Nominated country artist Mickey Guyton will sing the national anthem. She tweeted she's grateful and excited.
If you want to know your house,
Right, it says, apparently, guys, it's going to ABS.
Sale price. And the agent tells us to paint and repair, and prospective buyers will go through the house and maintain a spotless house who lives there.
Ah, boy, if I was true, I would look at that.
So, let me say a different, in my opinion, is very well in a better way. Selling your home for a fair price. Nobody walks through your house and pay any commission. You have to keep it spotless. Nobody walks through it at all, and you don't pay 6%. And that's what directbuyers.com is. Directbuyers.com is an honest, no obligation offer and $15,000
Right, it says, apparently, guys, of course, it's ABS.
That's what I truly love about this thing. Go to directbuyers.com, or 242-sell, directbuyers.com. Blinds or shapes, blinds.com offers custom-made blinds, shades and shutters shipped directly to you. At prices less than $2.50. Blinds for blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop blinds for today and save big. Blinds.com.
From Canada,
Oh, boy.
You betcha, this can be deep. Now going the other way, comes to me like Bellflower, that's right, clearly. However, a little farther east, just in the westbound drive, at least that, is I'm Jeff Ball.
This week's headache sponsored by Grocery Outlet. This week at Grocery Outlet, stock up on refreshing San Pellegrino Ascendant Water. 20 packs of assorted flavors or buy one, get one free. That's San Pellegrino Ascendant Water Pack. Buy one, get one free. Only at your locally owned Grocery Outlet.
Hey, Honest Sharp, are you looking to sell your home in 2022? Well, congratulations. That is a big deal. For most of us, it's the biggest deal of all. So let's make sure you get everything out of it that you can, yeah? Before you get ready to live, make sure you call the good folks at Revive. Revive's business is to maximize your home's solar value. How? By guiding you through market-critical upgrades before you sell. It's like flipping your own home, except Revive fronts the cost and guarantees results. Yes, you heard that right. No money out of pocket and a higher selling price guaranteed. You can lift higher and sell faster in just a few short weeks. In fact, the average homeowner sees $160K in additional profit. This is a no-brainer. Revive has created an easy, way to maximize your greatest asset. Are you thinking about selling it? And before you do at Revive. To get started, go to iloverevive.com. That's iloverevive.com. It's time to meet again. Have a safe journey with Turkish Airlines. until February 4th to enjoy special fares. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, please visit TurkishAirlines.com. Turkish Airlines.
Did you know your ugly, cracked, stained, and scratched driveway, patio, and local trash I'm Larry Green, CEO of System Papers, America's #1 designer and store of elegant outdoor living systems. This season, love your home again and turn your own house space into a savings with our free demolition and instant recycling cash credit. Call System Papers today at 888-8002 and you'll save like never before because we'll demolish and remove your old ugly concrete or asphalt for free and give you an instant recycling cash credit toward our beautiful interlocking pavers of secure, custom local barbecue, fire pits, and wonderful outdoor lighting.
Oh,
All orders must be placed by February 28th and installation must commence within 60 days of purchase. See website for full offer details. Contractor's license 661575.
This winter, we must all do our part to protect ourselves and loved ones from COVID-19. Getting vaccinated gives you the greatest protection against severe illness and death. And for the first time, everyone in the family ages 5 and up is eligible for the vaccine. If you're already fully vaccinated, get your booster to keep your immunity strong. Keeping each other safer is simple. Get vaccinated. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccination location near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Wealth isn't simply about money. It's more than just the numbers in your portfolio or your bank account. Wealth is all the everyday things that money enables you to do, the goals you're after, things you want to accomplish, and the life you want to lead. So how do you get there? Starting the weekend of January 1st, listen to Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chapman, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. Each week, award-winning journalist Soledad O'Brien and personal finance expert Gene Chapman will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. They'll be joined by Edelman Financial Engine's wealth planners and other guests to demystify challenges like tax-efficient investing, retirement planning, and more. They'll share knowledge and tools to manage your finances today and build wealth for tomorrow. Join the conversation. Everyday Wealth airs each weekend and will be available on major podcast platforms. For airtime, visit everydaywealth.com.
We all have our favorite podcasts. We listen day and night. Now, iHeartRadio is celebrating the best in podcasting. Our 2022 iHeartRadio Podcast Awards are coming tomorrow. Join Will Ferrell, Jenna Fisher, and Angela Kinsey, Colin Yang, Martha Stewart, Paris Hilton, Bethany Frankel, Wilmer Valderrama, and many more as we honor the brilliant storytelling and inspiring conversations behind the podcasting explosion. So wonderful. Watch live exclusively on iHeartRadio's YouTube channel and Facebook page. And listen on iHeartRadio tomorrow night at 9. Stop with your silly theories. You're all wrong anyway. We've tried it your way. We've let all these prisoners out, and the crime rate is crazy. All kinds of insane things are happening. There's bloodshed everywhere. So you guys are wrong. You put them away, they can't hurt anybody. John and Ken, I don't want to argue with you. You're wrong. Weekdays at 2. Clearly, on KFI. Crew, Wednesday, February 2nd. Let's finish up Handle on the news. Jennifer Lane and me.
So Glenn Maxwell's lawyers say that juror who hadn't disclosed that he had sexual assault in his background violated her right to a fair trial.
Yeah, we did that story already.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was on me. Sexual assault cases dropped against this teacher in Missouri. She married a student. She had been facing a charge of sexual contact with a student by a teacher when she admitted to cops that she had sex with a student in her home in 2019, but because there is spousal privilege as a result of her marriage to the student in the case, prosecutors dropped the charges against her.
Yep, Mary Kay Letourneau, remember that one?
That's the very first thought that came to mind.
Right, yep. That's the case where she ended up marrying this kid.
Yep.
I mean, she started having sex with him, I think she was when he was 12. And then ended up marrying him. They had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And they were together. They must have been together for 7, 10 years, something like that. Well, they got married, I think they got married in 2005, and then they filed for separation in like 2016, 2017. So, yeah, maybe 10 to 12 years. Yeah. So, in the Koreatown neighborhood of Los Angeles, there are a bunch of large boulders on the sidewalk. Nobody, well, I can't say nobody knows how they got there. Authorities don't know how they got there yet, but they know it would have taken a big truck or a tractor to get them there, and they think that they were placed there by whoever placed them there to stop homeless people from setting up an encampment. Because it's in an area where the city had gone in and cleared out an encampment, and the next thing you know, now there's all these big boulders placed so that you can't live. Can you think of another reason? Other than keeping out the homeless? Well, it's some guerrilla art installation. So maybe Banksy was in town?
All right, a lawsuit has been filed on behalf of a special needs child who alleges that she was assaulted by a man hired to provide her with behavioral therapy and in-home services. So the mom of the child started noticing bruising on her daughter's neck and her back, and she says that she witnessed this therapist, Kevin Am, actually grab her daughter's arm during one of their 2-hour behavioral sessions. She also began to see behavioral changes in her daughter, like flinching, covering her face, even hitting herself anytime Yuen came into their home.
Yeah, well, he's going down. And I understand that she is severely autistic. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I think that's why she has the therapy in the first place.
Video shows a Phoenix police officer repeatedly hitting a 13-year-old girl, this while investigating a stolen car situation. The police say the girl was not in the stolen car. They had stopped the car, they were investigating, and they say she came up, and they said, stay back, and she wouldn't stay back, and they claim she hit first. See, they don't have the video of that. They don't have the video, right. They don't have but the video. But they do have what happened. Cops started hitting her repeatedly, so as they are just trying to keep her. There's still all the witnesses, you know, that were there who I assume. However, how many times have you seen in a particularly neighborhood, we show up, particularly white neighborhoods, all the witnesses saw the same thing. Brutality, etc., and the video shows exactly the opposite. We talked about that. Eyewitness testimony is useless. And incidentally, if all of them were telling the truth, you'd have to see this paper starts a photograph. As far as they proceed. Now let me run this by you to see if it changes your view. So they pull over this car, 4 guys get out of the car, and one of those guys punches an officer and takes his gun. So then a bunch of other officers run over. Now you have this commotion, and in this commotion, this girl comes up. And they're saying, get out of here, and she doesn't get out of there. I think that warrants hitting her repeatedly, but again, it wasn't a case of sitting here, a police officer with nothing particularly stressful going on, and here comes a girl, and I don't want her to be near me, and she won't, and I start hitting her. It was because that's what you're going to hear from some witnesses, and that's what you're going to certainly hear from the girl and her family in the lawsuit. Let's do one more story, and the Golden Corral. I love this story.
It's all about steak.
Yeah.
So you're at a Golden Corral, and you're standing there waiting for your steak, and maybe there's a guy in front of you, but what he doesn't know is you have ordered your steak rare, and he has ordered his steak probably well done. So you, even though you're behind him in line, get your steak first. Well, apparently, well-done steak guy was not okay with this. Alexis Rios said that the man in front of her became angry with the cook because he got his steak first. And she said everybody he said everybody had masks on, we had a hard time hearing each other, but they all started to fight. And even though he says that he's amazed he walked away from this relatively unscathed, they literally went to punches over steak and who got their steak first at Golden Corral.
Yeah, let's go back to the beginning before it even started. First of all, both of them somehow misunderstanding that when Golden Corral says it's steak, we don't know what kind of meat it is.
Golden Corral is very good.
What's finishing?
I don't agree with what either of you just said. In your case, it's not true, Bill. It is beef. Your
Some
case,
kind of beef.
Jen, that's an opinion that you're absolutely entitled to.
Yes. All right. We're done. Coming up, Omicron has hit Southern California far harder than the Bay Area. And I'm going to go through that and explain. This is Kfi Am 640 Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
More stimulating talk.
No login required.
KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Troops on the move. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A U.S. official says President Biden is sending troops to Poland, Germany, and Romania in response to rising tensions in Ukraine. About 3,000 troops are expected to deploy in the coming days. Some of the troops are stationed in Germany and are being moved to Romania. Other U.S. troops have been sent from Fort Bragg, North Carolina to Germany and Poland, according to the Washington Post. The strong Santa Anas are back. They're expected to last through tomorrow morning. There is a high wind warning in effect for mountain areas through noon tomorrow. Forecasters predict winds of 35 to 45 miles an hour with gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Less severe high wind advisories are in effect for valleys and coastal areas. LA County health officials say the number of patients in the hospital with COVID-19 continues to fall.
For the week ending January 30th, the 7-day average of daily admissions went down 143 from the prior week for a total of 441 patients. That's a 24% drop in admissions. County Health Director Barbara Ferrer says she's grateful to everyone who takes personal responsibility for getting us back down to low rates of COVID-19 transmission. And Ferrer says while we have turned the corner, we'll need to remain cautious in order to maintain this downward trend. Unfortunately, the number of daily deaths continues upward. For the weekend in January 24th, the average was 58. By the end of January 31st, it was 62. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
LA County's health director says LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger is wrong to challenge mask requirements because Governor Newsom has seen maskless at Sunday's game at SoFi Stadium. Barbara Ferrer says low mask compliance at the NFC event does not mean mask requirements should be tossed. She compares that to doing away with speed limits because some drivers ignore them. Police say 5 train robbers have been arrested in Torrance for trying to steal several boxes of generators. Sergeant Mark Pongelic says, fortunately, someone saw the group carrying the boxes along the tracks.
When communities who work and live in those areas are observing people breaking into rail cars, it really is important to call the police car right away to get us in the area so we can catch these thieves.
He says locks on several rail cars in the area Sunday night were broken. The 5 people were booked for robbery, receiving stolen property, and conspiracy. A winter storm has hit parts of the country with dangerous new snow and ice expected all the way south to Texas. Forecasters say the storm's expected to stretch 2,000 miles.
Parts of the Midwest could see up to a foot of snow, threatening records in cities like Toledo, Ohio, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Detroit. Missouri's governor already declaring an emergency.
ABC's Derek Dennis says airlines have canceled more than 1,200 flights, and according to Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog predictor, he says we will have 6 more weeks of winter. He saw his shadow this morning in Pennsylvania. And a funeral service for murdered LAPD officer Fernando Arroyos will be held at Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills. Arroyos was shot and killed January 10th during a robbery near South LA. That has traffic implications for you today. Jeff Ball, let's look at those.
Well, it sure does. Thanks, Jen. Yes, indeed. A heads up for you now if you have to drive the 134 freeway this morning. Those services will take place at Hollywood, Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills, which is actually in Burbank. But extra traffic and temporary closures, we'll keep that on for you, for the 134 in between the I-5 and probably Buena Vista. Most of it is close around Forest Lawn. Now back to the freeways, just destination LAX is your concern this morning. West 105, this morning drive slow, 710, 110, all that stuff. Northbound, getting a little slow from the 110 up to the 105, and southbound, once you get past Sunset Boulevard, it's magic, all the way down to the airport, no problem. KFI in the sky, helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Paul.
Brought to you by Life Source Water. Taste and feel the difference.
When the Rams take the field for Super Bowl 56 a week from Sunday, offensive lineman Andrew Whitworth will face the only other team in the NFL he's ever played for. Whitworth spent 11 seasons in Cincinnati before signing with the Rams as a free agent. Tune into AM 570 LA Sports for complete coverage leading up to Super Week Los Angeles, brought to you by Infinity. Luxury should be lived in. Visit your Southern California Infinity retailer today. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
Want to pay off your 30-year mortgage in half the time? Network Capital is offering a low 15-year fixed rate at 2.25% with a 2.425 APR. Start off your new year with a lower rate and half the payment. If you're looking to lower your interest rate, pay your home out sooner, or pull out some cash, don't miss this opportunity. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again with rates this low. Our 15-year fixed rate is 2.25% with a 2.425 APR. It's not often to get such an amazing second chance to refinance and forget it. That's a 15-year fixed at 2.25%. Yes, 2.25% with a 2.425 APR. Network Capital has experts standing by right now to help. Call 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refund. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Work license in all states. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. And the financing law. Number 603D77. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and may not be available at rate law. Discount rates may apply. Subject to credit approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
Ben and Ashley I's Almost Famous is the Bachelor Recap podcast you can't miss. Breaking down every episode from Bachelor Nation.
Thanks for staying. That's enough for fun. So that absolutely fantastic. It actually tells me that this will be an awesome season. And I agree.
Listen to Ben and Ashley I's Almost Famous on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with
Call
DuckDuckGo.
service champions for their $88 professional basis payment at 833-777-7777.
Your KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. The Dow is up 10, S&P up 23, NASDAQ up 108, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California up a penny from yesterday. We're at $4.65. SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a wind advisory in effect until at least noon tomorrow, and it looks like temperatures today will just be in the 60s, a little bit warmer tomorrow. 49 right now in Orange, 46 in Mission Hills. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
KFI AM 640. Bill Handel here on a Wednesday morning, February 2nd. Breaking news, the president and now the Pentagon spokesman is saying that there will be about 2,000 troops that are going, American troops going to Poland, Germany, Romania in response to the Russians who have said it's all about the United States and the United States fomenting this hysteria. Russians have 100,000 troops on the border, massive amounts of military equipment, and they're doing that, I guess, in self-defense. It's really just bizarre. I've explained it before. It's not bizarre. We know all the reasons. They want Ukraine never to be part of NATO, and they want the troops in Eastern Europe, Allied troops, being brought back. I mean, truly being reduced. So, is there going to be a war? I don't think so. I don't think Putin's going to go to war because of the backlash. It's going to be too great. Story about Omicron. And one of the stories that has come out is the fact that Southern California is way, way behind the Bay Area in terms of deaths and cases, and it's logical as to what happens, but the politics and why also known, but it really gets crazy as more and more evidence comes forward. So what's going on with Southern California? Well, the death rate during January, 3 times worse than the Bay Area. 2,400 deaths recorded in Southern California since New Year's Day. That's about 11%. 11 deaths for every 100,000 residents. In the Bay Area, it's 4% for every 100,000 residents. So it's at least 3 times higher, almost 4 times higher. That's a lot of people dying that otherwise would not die. And for those people that are saying, well, they would have gotten COVID anyway, and they died of other causes, I am going to I'm going to go the other way, and I think I have the evidence. What's it about? Well, if you ask the experts, if you ask the health experts, if you ask the epidemiologists, the virologists, ask the doctors, the public health officials, one reason, and that is that Southern California does not come close to the number of Bay Area residents who are vaccinated. Now, in certain parts of the country, deaths are going down, and adding to those people who say the vaccine doesn't do much, because look at the states in which vaccines are not used as much, not being administered as much. Look at our death toll. Well, that doesn't take into account that this virus is regional. It goes from place to place. And then there's a surge, and then it reduces, and that's sort of its natural cycle. And so, for example, the upper eastern part of the northeastern part of the United States was just nailed with COVID, and then it started to fall. So they were the first ones out. The southern states nailed with it, and the percentage of people who got the virus has petered out or has reduced dramatically. And why? Well, because the virus is shifting, going other places. It actually moves. It moves around. But if you look at the number of deaths, and it's the best measurement is per 100,000. If you look at the per 100,000 population, the experts were saying, here it is, vaccinated and boosted. That's the best protection against illness and death. And that's what they have. Not necessarily the number of people who have gotten COVID, because there's a huge number who have it, don't even know they have it, or feel slightly ill, the headache, bronchitis part of it, and the taste and smell, they didn't go to the doctor. I mean, go to one of those COVID places. And I don't know if those little pop-up COVID places report to the health authorities. I mean, certainly major medical testing centers, too, the hospitals. But it's so crowded to get a test. You see those lines that go on for half a mile and wait 3 hours to get tested. And so those are the ones that are going to report. The rest of them, when I report it, I don't even know who to report to if I had a mild case of COVID. Do I call the health department and say, I want to talk to the vice president in charge of COVID reporting? I don't even know how. So they can measure hospitalizations, and they certainly can measure deaths. And that's what happens per 100,000. And they're saying it's real easy. If you look at that, the reported cases of COVID, the number of hospitalizations, the number of deaths, just look at the Bay Area and look at Southern California. 82% of San Francisco, 84% of Santa Clara County are considered fully vaccinated. About half have received the booster shot. In LA County, 70%, 12% less, are fully vaccinated. About a third, as opposed to half, have gotten the booster shot. And one of the healthcare officials wrote in a blog that the poor uptake of boosters in the U.S. across the country has been frankly pathetic. Largely a function of aggressive misinformation, disinformation, not only by the anti-vaxxers, by politicians who jump on the bandwagon. And that is the scary part. Yesterday was a whole story on politicians and poor groups. And how where that's so it's who causes it that we're not getting boosted? Well, I think we have legitimate people who have legitimate reasons, and I don't disagree with them, but certainly medical exemptions I have no problem with. Religious exemptions I do, because public health is right. And medical exemptions are all about public health and individual health. So I'll buy that exemption. The rest of it, man, that's just complete crap over. And you put me at risk, and you put my kids at risk when you go out unvaccinated. So, move to the Bay Area. And instead of paying $4,000 a month
for a one-bedroom, you pay $6,000 a month, but you're probably going to walk around being able to pay $6,000 a month because you'll still be alive. Houston and homelessness. I want to compare LA to Houston and why Houston is so successful and why we are not in terms of homelessness here in Southern California. This is KFI Am 640, Jennifer Jones.
More flights are being canceled as the winter storm starts to stretch 2,000 miles across the nation. It's set to bury the Midwest in heavy snow, bringing freezing rain and high winds all the way to Maine. A book that made headlines around the world is on hold after only 2 weeks. A Dutch publisher says it will stop printing The Betrayal of Anne Frank and apologized, admitted more research is needed. And peacocks could soon be on the way out in some Miami-Dade neighborhoods after the county commission agreed to loosen a law protecting the birds. It's a 20-year-old law that still protects the peacocks, but the commissioners agreed to allow cities to opt out of the rules if they show appropriate plans to humanely remove the birds. We've got your drive with DKFI in the sky in the 605 next.
Happy New Year! I'm Take Mortgage founder and CEO David Abellion, and if you're working with another lender to refinance your home, pump the brakes. I'm so confident that we can beat their rate, I'll give you $1,000 if we can. That's right, call now, and in 10 minutes or less, we'll save you money or I'll personally put a cool grand in your pocket. Yup, that's 1 rack, 10 Benjis, 10 big ones. That's how confident I am that Take has the best rate in the nation. So don't wait, call 877-818-TAKE and start the new year off right. Did I mention you can go up to 2 months with no mortgage payments and get the lowest rate? So what are you waiting for? Call 877-818-TAKE. That's 877-818-2253. Or visit takehome.com to get started today. With us, it's a piece of cake.
Equal housing lender licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Not licensed in all 50 states, including New York. Visit takehome.com for licensing terms and restrictions.
At Whole Foods Market, save on your staple smoothie produce. Get 1 pint of organic blueberries for $4.99 each through February 8th. Plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
From the HMS Capital Weather Center, sunny today with a wind advisory in effect until noon tomorrow and highs just in the 60s. This report is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. We're into the 605.
Boy, indeed, stuff is really blowing around here this morning, so be careful. Now, this is driving through Cerrito, up on 605 Pleasant Street, that's south of 91. Kind of large, heavy stuff, but getting reports, but mostly in the left lane, so just be careful if you're approaching that. Now, approaching Burbank now, it's very windy downtown in the valley. South side of Sunland, 3 drivers standing here, one right lane blocked, trying to get it up to the shoulder. Past this, though, pretty good news, really. The South 5's in good shape. All lanes open, traffic actually moving all the way down to the East LA interchange. KFI in the sky. I'll get you there faster. I'm Jeff Claw.
This report is sponsored by Cal Recycle. Californians are recycling smarter to help save our planet. Empty your recycling and let it dry to make sure it gets recycled. For more tips on proper recycling, visit iRecycleSmart.com. Do your part. Recycle smart.
The big game and Valentine's Day, that's the best. That's the best reason in the world to book a real and do a bolt Morongo. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Sign up for Friday. You can win up to $2,500 in free play from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. playing slots with your rewards card.
Number 4.
Couples connect at Sage Spa. Get Swedish massages and facials for a special price. And $70 in bonus products free.
3.
Treasure gift giveaway. Get a Swiss football set when you earn 500 points on your reward cards the 7th or 8th.
And the number 2.
Valentine's Day dinner at SecuriLock. Get a romantic 4-course meal specially priced.
And the number 1 reason.
Celebrate the Year of the Tiger with gift giveaways, cash, prizes, food specials, and live entertainment all month.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good time.
It's time to meet again. Have a safe journey with Turkish Airlines. Book your ticket until February 4th to enjoy special fares. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, please visit TurkishAirlines.com. Turkish Airlines. As parents, we've done everything we can to keep our kids safe, happy, and healthy during this pandemic. From finding the best face masks to making sure their hands are clean. And now we have the best tool to help keep them even safer. The most important thing we can do is vaccinate our kids to protect them against COVID-19. Vaccines have been proven safe and effective for children 5 and up. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
It's a blockbuster new I Can See Your Voice. In Superstar Amazing Gray, figure out if these people are amazing vocalists or amazing liars. TV's #1 new show is the most challenging 3-story gauntlet in history. Next level steps. World-changing double elimination.
No team is safe. It all starts tonight at 8 on Fox 11 and catch Tuesday at 8 weekdays 4 to 10.
Moms know, once their kiddos are out, it's go time. That's why Good Day LA starts at 4 a.m. We've got your local news, weather, and traffic. But mornings on Fox 11 come with so much more. As unique as the communities we cover, important and empowering stories that feed your mind, heart, and soul. And real conversations every day, addressing community concerns while finding solutions to make where we live safer. So what are you waiting for? Give us a stop. Good Day LA, weekdays on Fox 11.
LA Water, hold it. No, did you know the EWG, it's a non-profit environmental group, they found arsenic level 430 times what's considered safe. San Diego, just as bad. Newport Beach, I hope you like drinking haloacidic acid, but you're drinking 254 times the safe amount. So we know tap water is awful. And you're drinking, showering, bathing your kids in it with all these chemicals, that's pretty serious. Stu and I did test Purigen water. They've been in business for over 35 years. And Purigen, man, it turns tap water into pure, clean, delicious water, and it comes with a free 6-stage alkaline drink system. So I know the holidays are just ended, and money's a little tight. So Purigen is going to help you out. They can install both systems with no money down, no payments for 3 months, plus a lifetime service at no charge. Call Purigen right away. 844-80-WATER, 844-80-WATER, or the website, PUR-water.com. That's PurigenWater.com.
Purigen, man, is your best friend. To make your water pure again.
February 3rd. It's the biggest night of the year for podcast fans.
These are really some of the best and brightest and smartest and most compelling minds in the country.
Our 2022 iHeartRadio Podcast Awards. Make plans to join us on our Facebook, YouTube, and iHeartRadio stations across America.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial, auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Nancy Pelosi announced that she will be running for re-election.
Hello, it's Nan.
Oh, the smacking. Is there anything that ages you more than the smack? I mean, once you start smacking,
Jerry and Shannon.
it's time to go paint pictures like George W.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI. AM 640. Bill Handel here. It is a Wednesday morning, February 2nd, as we continue on. Let me share with you, well, first of all, a little bit of news I want to share with you. Big stuff. President announced just a few hours ago that he is sending 2,000 troops, not to the Ukraine-Russia border, but to Poland, Germany, Romania, where Allied troops are, where NATO troops are stationed, and this is in response to the government of Russia is sending Putin with 100,000 troops on the Ukraine border and massive amounts of military. They even brought in fresh blood supplies. What does that tell you? A story about homelessness. We do this a lot because homelessness is such a huge issue. Even to the point when Governor Newsom ran for governor, he said his #1 priority as governor is going to be deal with the homeless. So here we are, miserable failure here in Southern California. I'm going to use Los Angeles as focus on it here. And I'm going to use Houston as a city that is, if it's not doing it right, it's certainly doing it better. Houston has cut homelessness by more than half over the last decade. What do you think is happening here in Los Angeles? It has increased dramatically. And here is a lesson for LA. Solving homelessness is less about economics, which you would think, so people no place to live, cost of living. It's really about strategic clarity and execution of dealing with the homeless. They do it well, and we don't do it well. First of all, homelessness is not an inescapable fact of modern life. Not in Houston. As a matter of fact, the homeless population fell nationwide by 10.3% since 2007. And in Houston, it's fallen by half. So, LA County, it's been doubling over the last decade, but it's dropping in Long Beach. In the same housing market, the same unequal local economy, it's also fallen in Pasadena and Glendale, right around the corner. Houston has higher poverty levels, and still homelessness is far less. Now, one of the things is rents in LA are much higher, so that adds to it. But in many ways, Houston actually has a harder battle than we do. Greater LA has the highest wage growth in the nation. It's like 23%. Houston at the bottom. And yet homelessness, again, is not as big a problem. So what are they doing? What are they doing right? Well, let me go through what they're doing right and what LA is doing wrong. Houston provides many times for affordable permanent housing. And that includes supportive health and social services than we do. Why? Because in Houston, permanent housing is the entire focus. There is no city-determined or city-owned temporary housing. That's left housing. It's left entirely to the churches and the nonprofits. Now, if we were to do that, LA would have to multiply its efforts by more than 5 to provide at least 150,000 total units. They're doing it with their population or not. Another reason is Houston's single lead homeless agency. One agency is on top of this. And it deals with the services of everybody extremely well, integrating frontline health and housing service workers, training